Are you this guy? Are you always stressed out about what you're making in Blender? Can you never just make anything look right? Your textures, your materials, they're all off. It's all terrible. Well, we have PBR Max bringing the highest quality assets I have ever seen since I discovered Blender and that I didn't have to just stick with Unreal Engine Marketplace assets. So let's get right into the video. We're going to be making some kind of rock quarry thing, literally just off of the top of my head. So let's get started. So the reason why I'm just doing this off the top of my head is I really want to demonstrate just the ease of use that you can do here and just how you can kind of just take these assets and just make something. It's a great alternative to Megascans. Megascans is really the only of its kind I've really seen around. So this could be a great alternative. You know, Megascans doesn't have one thing. You go over to PBR Max and it has something else. It has the thing that you want. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show off the website and what to do, how to kind of get started and everything. So the website is just pbrmax.com. Link will be in the description, of course, along with all of their socials if you guys would want to follow that. But basically up here, I already have an account, but you would just click sign in. You would create an account just like anything else. They have a Discord server, which I will also link in the description. If you guys have any problems or any questions, there's some staff in there that can help you guys out. But once you create an account, you'll be able to kind of go over and you can click on, you might be on a trial edition when you create your account. But this information is blurred out because I don't know if it's I don't know if it's sensitive information or not. But basically, if I go to purchase, which you'll be able to go by going into your account settings over here, you can go from subscription plan to redeeming points. So subscription plans, you have individual, which is $9.99 a month. And basically, the difference between individual and professional is basically personal, commercial use. In the individual plan, you're not allowed to use these for commercial use, and in the professional plan, you are. And it's $9.99 for $19.99 a month. And it includes a free 40 points. And then you can also come over here and just purchase points. You can get 20 points for $5, 40 points for $10, and 80 points for $15, which is a lot cheaper than Megascans kind of point system. It costs quite a bit for the same amount of points. So unless you're using Megascans with Unreal Engine, you're kind of stuck with paying a lot for points. But yeah, if we go back to the homepage of the website, you can see that it is very, very similar to Megascans in layout. If you've used Quixel, if you've used any of the Quixel suite or Megascans or Bridge or anything, then you know this layout. But basically, they have a category tab up here. We can go through all of these and pick them out and stuff. The only thing they're missing that is kind of a big thing right now is foliage assets. They don't have any kind of grass or plant or just ground cover assets. I was told that they are working on trying to get those into PBR Max, but they don't have official word yet. So keep an eye on that. If they add them, that would be great because a lot of people don't really want to find or make grass and plant assets. But yeah, so to download an asset, we can just click on it. And my internet is a little slow right now, so this preview might take a minute. But once we have this, we can see that we have all of these options. You can check and uncheck whatever maps you want to download or whatever. Mesh format, you can change it if it has different mesh formats. Some do, some don't. But basically, you would just purchase this, and then I'm going to purchase this because I'm going to use this in this tutorial. But we can just, it'll ask use however many points to obtain this asset. You can click yes, and then you can either download it from here, or if you go to this little desktop button at the top, they have recently launched a desktop client, and it's basically kind of like a Quixel Bridge type thing. And to get it, you would just go to the Discord group chat. It's in the description too. It'll also be on the website. Go in there, follow all the channels, fill out a questionnaire, and you'll be emailed a link to the closed beta of this. I'm going to be using it in this video. You don't have to use it. You can download it straight from the website. But I'm just going to be using it here. So next thing is if I actually open the PBR Max app, and we just open it real quick. you see that everything loads just fine. And so if I go to my assets, I should be able to see when these load here. Yeah. So here is my asset that I just downloaded off the website. And what we can go ahead and do is we can click export, and then our export software, we can click Blender, and then under Blender version, then we can go to download plugins, or we can change this. We can just download this somewhere. I'm just going to put this in my downloads folder real quick. I'm going to click download plugins. It'll start downloading the Blender plugin. And we can go ahead and go to our downloads folder, and it is all the way down here. But once we have that downloaded, we can go into Blender. We can go to edit, preferences, add-ons, install, and then just go into our downloads folder and this PBR Max Blender plugin, and just enable it, save preferences. And now we can go back into our PBR Max app, and we should be good to go. I don't think you have to restart Blender. So, yeah, oh yeah, we have to download this. So download, we can change the preset to Blender, model, mesh format, and everything. You can change your LODs, whichever LODs you want the model to be, how detailed it is. Resolution, I'm going to turn this down to 4K, just because my computer cannot handle a bunch of 8K textures in a scene. But you can go to 8K if you want. But yeah, we have all these, we give you a base maps here. All we have to do now is just click download. It'll start downloading the asset. You can see up here in our little download manager. It starts to download the asset, and depending on your internet speed and whatever, this might take from a few seconds to a few minutes. So just wait here, wait for your asset to download, and then it'll be ready to export. If you get an error saying that some things aren't downloaded, just come over here, uncheck ZTool, and uncheck these last 3 maps. And now what we can do is you have to restart Blender. I just figured that out. Yeah, restart Blender, and then you are ready to export. So if we go ahead and click the export button right here, we will get a little thing that says import success. Blender will take a minute to import the asset. It'll import all of the LODs you selected. So you can see we have LOD 0 to LOD 5. So if we just bring these over, we can see that this is the highest detailed one right here, LOD 0. And if we bring out like LOD 5, you can see that is the lowest detail. So depending on how much geometry you want on your model or your scene, you can choose whatever LODs to import. You can import all of them. You can do whatever. So I'm going to just go with LOD 0, or I might go with LOD 1 if it has enough detail. I might go with LOD 0 for this one because I want this to be kind of a front asset, something that's in the front here. So once we have our asset imported, and you kind of understand how to actually just import assets, we can go ahead and pull this good guy off to the side right here, and we can add in a plane. I'm going to scale this up maybe 10 times. Just scale that up about 10 times, and what we can do is we can hit tab, we can right click, and we can click subdivide. And I'm going to subdivide this about 65 times, and this is just so we can kind of sculpt our plane and stuff to kind of get a little landscape right here. So if we go into our sculpting tab, I kind of want this to be like a little valley kind of scene, like you're kind of in a valley looking up, and it's just kind of rocks and just like a little open area. I think that would look pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit Control on our keyboard and start sculpting to kind of bring this stuff down and kind of carve out a little area, and so we can kind of see where we want our camera to be, just something like that. So we're going to make this a little bit deeper, just something like this. And once we have that, what we can do is we can kind of give it a little bank right here. We can kind of have this keep going out. We can kind of make this a little bit higher so it's like it's kind of coming out of everything. Kind of sculpt around here, do some stuff like this, just some stuff. You can use F to bring your brush strength or your brush size up. And we're just going to kind of do this. We can hit Shift and S to bring out the smooth brush and kind of smooth all of this out. And we have something like that, and we can go right here and see kind of what we're looking like right here. I kind of want this to be like up a little bit, so I'm gonna hit X to go back to our sculpt tool, and I'm gonna bring this up so it's kind of like a hill that's coming down some. Shift S to go to our smooth tool, and then we have something that looks kind of like this. I'm gonna bring this up just a tad bit more. Shift S. I'm gonna smooth all this and smooth this. So yeah, we have something like this. Might hit G for the grab brush and just bring this down a little bit. Bring this down. Just something like that. So where we have this little scene right here. And once we have that, we can right click and click Shade Smooth. I'm going to go ahead and set up what I want my camera angle to be. So if we hit period to kind of recenter our view right here, I kind of want the camera to be like right here maybe. And I can hit Control Alt and 0 to center our camera. I'm going to hit G and pull back while holding my scroll wheel to kind of pull this back a little bit, and then click to keep it right there. And then next we're going to grab our asset. So if we grab our asset and we just bring it in, we can start seeing where we want it in our scene, so we can start placing it in different places. I might place it up against this, something like that maybe. Bring it up some till we have something like that. And if you run into the issue where your geometry doesn't match up with your terrain, you can see here that it kind of comes up. What we can actually do, and what I like to do is a very easy way to fix this, is if we hit tab to go in edit mode on the object and then go into our proportional editing, and then we just select one and hit G, and we can use our scroll wheel to resize this and stuff, is we can just kind of shove it under there. Like we don't have to worry about it. And yeah, we can just do this. And kind of just fit our asset in there. And there we go. This other side might need that too. Just something like this. Bring it down. Something like that. And now we have that asset in here. So now next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back on the website. To actually download and subscribe to the assets, you have to go from the website. So next I'm going to go ahead and get this one, this little ground right here, and I'm going to click purchase. Use 4 points to obtain this asset. We're going to go back into our PBR Max and just refresh that little assets thing by going back to home page, and you can see that this is now in our library. So if we go to download, we can go ahead and download this for Blender. Uncheck Z tool, uncheck all of these. Resolution 4K. I'm just going to import the LOD1 of this, and then we're going to click download. Now once the download starts, you can see that it starts downloading the asset, and I'll be back once that is downloaded. Okay, and so once that is downloaded, we can go ahead and click export. We can choose Blender, export parameters. We can download Blender. Make sure all of this is unchecked, and then click export. Make sure these export parameters always match up with your download settings, otherwise it'll give you that error. This should be right, yeah. Make sure your export settings always match up with your download settings, otherwise it'll try to import files that are not there. You can see Blender is importing right now. You just give it a minute and it will be in your scene. So we can see here now we have these rocks in our scene. We can go ahead and save our scene, by the way. I'm just going to call this Rocky scene. I'm going to save this, and what we can go ahead and do with this now is we can start putting some kind of stuff through here, something like that, and we can actually reuse this rock asset quite a bit by just putting it down in different places where it kind of clips through the ground. And so this is a pretty cool way to get a lot of cool differentiating rockiness in your scene. So we can do this, kind of put some right here where it comes through. If we look in our scene now, that we don't really see, so I'm going to move it like right here. And so now if we see our scene, we can see that we have this cool stuff. If you are duplicating an asset a bunch of times, I would highly recommend going for a lower LOD, or technically a higher LOD value, just so you don't have a ton of unnecessary geometry in your scene. And so now what we can go ahead and do is import a material for our scene. So we go on the PBR Max website. We should be able to go to type and then surface and then category, nature, and we can find a bunch of ground assets. So we're basically just going to go through and kind of see what would kind of fit on our ground. I want kind of like a rocky kind of just area. I might actually use this one. This one looks pretty decent. So if we go ahead and purchase this, and we click yes, and then we go homepage, and then my assets. See, this will load up, and what we can do is we can go ahead and click download on this. We can go to Blender resolution. I'm going to go to 4K on this, and yeah. So we have all these settings, and we're going to click download. It starts to download, and we're just going to wait for this to download real quick. Okay, and so once that asset is downloaded, if we go to export, and then we go to Blender, and everything is good there, we can change the scope to Blender, change the resolution to 4K, and make sure everything's correct here. If we click export, we shouldn't get any errors. There we go. Okay, so I wound up using a different material because the one that I had chose, for some reason, that specific material completely crashes Blender anytime I try to use it. So we switched materials. I'm using this one now. It's kind of similar, kind of not. It's missing the little grass, but it should be fine. If not, I'll replace it. But now at this point, it's basically just kind of set dressing your just set dressing your scene. So if we just go to nature assets, we can just look through here and we can just find different objects that look like they would go in our scene. So if you have an object that you already have, it will say collected. So that's so you know that you are not just downloading the same assets. But basically, I'm just going to look through and find some assets and just kind of set dress my scene. I'm pretty sure I've explained how to actually use the program, so I'm going to time-lapse the rest of this video. You guys can kind of follow along, stop it some ways through if you guys want to see how I composite the scene and all that. But yeah, hopefully you guys make something great with this. If you guys do, make sure to tag them on Instagram, and if you make something inspired by me, tag me as well. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I will be back in the next video, but for now, here's a time lapse. Well, there it is, guys. This cool little rocky, dried up boat scene made using completely PBR Max assets. Again, all of their links, all of their socials will be in the description if you guys want to follow them, support them, use their service, whatever. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. You can really make some incredible stuff with this. But yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. But thanks, guys, so much for watching. My name is Michael from Polygon Island, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.